Diablo Immortal just announced this huge collab with Berserk. It is a worldwide anime and manga series. If you don't know what it is, don't worry, because it is dark, it is cruel, and it is awesome. It is everything that you want in a collab like this, because if you like Diablo, you're most likely gonna like Berserk. So we're gonna talk about the new crossover event, what is Berserk, and also what can you expect coming into the new event. But I'm gonna warn you, I'm gonna put a lot of spoilers when it comes to the story, so if you guys didn't see and you wanna watch, please go watch first, because I'm gonna use reference from the books and also from the series to tell you most likely what is gonna come on the cosmetics on the event and what is gonna be the raid boss. So let's move on into the roadmap here. We are in April and July. We are in the second quarter of the year, and if you see here, we have here the crossover event. So yesterday we actually got here a big announcement that I want to show you, and man, this was actually brutal, man. I was not expecting any of these to actually come to Diablo. It is gonna be awesome. Even if you are not a huge fan of anime, I think you're actually gonna love it. We have a dude with a big sword. It is a barbarian using guts, armor, and sword. Man, I can't wait to see my barbarian actually just swinging that big sword and just killing a lot of demons. So moving on, what is Berserk? Well, as I said to you, it is a very famous manga. I can't wait in the future to actually buy this deluxe edition. I am someone that from time to time I read manga. Currently, I am still reading the One Piece, but I can't wait for it in the future to actually have the money, because these books are very expensive. But Berserker is pretty much a combination between like dark themes and fantasy and blood and violence and all these things with, man, the characters that they made on the series, they are so good, and obviously the artwork inside the manga, it is awesome. Then you also have the anime series that got remade very recently. You can go and watch if you want on the Crunchyroll, on in other websites, if you know what I mean, wink wink. But there is also an older series from 1997 that I also watch. You can watch both of them. If you like a big dude that's just seeking for revenge with a big sword, Berserk is gonna be for you. So what can we actually expect here for the collab? We're gonna have a main event. I'm sure like we're also gonna have a new game mode, raid boss, legendary gem, free cosmetics, Phantom Cosmetic, Weapon Cosmetic, Familiar Cosmetics, and also cosmetics in other Diablo games. So moving on into the main event, I feel like pretty much is gonna be whatever we already had. If we go back to the World of Warcraft event that we had, it was like pretty much like similar to these that we are seeing here on the screen. So most likely it's gonna be here Berserker whatever, and I suspect that it's gonna come whenever this main event is gonna end. So this event is gonna end on the 30th April, so I assume that Berserker event is gonna come up like right next to the iron stockpile that we have. And then if you guys remember how it was whenever we had the World of Warcraft, we had like 10 legendary crests, which was like really awesome. Free pull. We also had the Morn Skull, which I think we also gonna have a new legendary gem coming into the game, and then we had some free cosmetics, the avatars, and all these things. I think all these things gonna come, but I'm gonna show you which ones I think they are gonna be. For the new game mode, we had the pretty much Arati basing, or it was called Cutthroat basing for the World of Warcraft one. Here, I think maybe we're gonna have maybe some PvP, maybe like a closer arena that's gonna be like more Berserker-like. Either way, I feel like it's just gonna be a reskin of a certain event that we already got. One of the things that, even though Cutthroat basing was actually kind of cool, the problem is there was no incentives for us to continue doing. Also was like full of bots because nobody was doing. If they come like with new game modes, like they come with the destruction call, they really need to up the rewards that they give, so people feel like they want to spend their time there. Otherwise, they're just gonna do other things that's gonna give us more rewards. The other thing, it is gonna be the new raid boss. In the World of Warcraft crossover event, we had the Lich King, which was awesome. I think that on this one is gonna be Griffith, which is pretty much the main antagonist for Berserk. Without going too much into spoilers, what is these abilities and all these things, just be aware that this guy, it is a badass. Now for the new legendary gem, I feel that it is gonna have to do with the brand of sacrifice. If you see here on Guts, which is the main character necklace, he has like this brand of sacrifice, which pretty much means that this guy it is someone that will always be hunted by demons until the day he dies. That's where like the whole story starts involving. It is pretty badass. A lot of people, they actually have a lot of these tattoos of this symbol. Others, they use it as a necklace. And I think that this new legendary gem most likely is gonna be a 2-star, even though like I think there is a possibility for them to put a 5-star in the game, because they are like spending a lot of resources on this collab. Because before it was with World of Warcraft, so it was like a in-house kind of thing. Here maybe like a collab where like both companies, they want to make like some extra money, so there is the possibility of a 5-star. But if I had to guess, most likely I think it's gonna be like a 2-star, the same way as we had like Mother's Lament. And hopefully this one is not gonna be like Mother's Lament and disappear after a while. But if I had to guess, I think it will. So start saving your legendary crests, start saving your rare crests, anything that's gonna give you resources for you to most likely get more copies. So maybe you can get like that rank 10 or at least the rank 8 like we got to the Morn Skull. That will be awesome. So be aware, new legendary gem most likely is gonna come. For the weapon cosmetics, as we saw in the World of Warcraft, we had a bunch of like free cosmetics that free to plays they could actually had. Like we had the Thunder Fury, the Tashi, the Gore Hole, and many others. And here on the Berserk, there is a multitude of weapons that they start showing on the series. Even though I feel like the main weapon, the Dragon Slayer, is gonna be paid, I'm sure it's gonna be like a barbaric style. It's gonna be like very rough, like very warrior, and that's what I expect. The same way as I expect that we're gonna have a new Phantom Cosmetic coming into the game, and most likely it's gonna be this armor. It's gonna be the Guts armor, and if they actually make this, I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be incredible. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I know that a lot of like these Phantom Cosmetics, they are like okayish. A few are good, a few are really good, but most of the times I feel like I could pass it. But Guts armor, man, that will be something unique. And I feel like obviously these companies, they know how to get people excited. We got excited when it comes to the Illidan skin with the Warglaives, and now we're probably gonna have Guts armor coming up with the new Weapon Cosmetic. You guys remember we had the Ashbringer coming as a paid cosmetic. So, well, I think the Dragon Slayer, the main weapon, will be also paid. And I can't wait to have on my Barbarian. Unfortunately, Barbarian still cannot use like a 2-hand sword, so I expect that we're gonna have these two like Dragon Slayers, one in which hand, and hopefully whenever we put on the back, they're gonna be like crossed on each other, and maybe it's gonna look really awesome. We have the Warglaives. The Warglaives look insane, and hopefully this new sword also is gonna look. But on this topic, just speculate a bit, what if they go the extra mile, and whenever you buy a 2-hand big weapon on your Barbarian, what if it redesigned the whole Barbarian class to now, instead of using the 2 one-hands, you just use the 1 main hand? We already have the animation whenever you use the Lacerate ultimate that it starts you swinging like that X. It's just like, this is just like some copium, but I can't wait to maybe one day we actually have the Barbarian using a 2-hand. And to finalize this, it is just another thing that I think they may come into the game, which is the new Familiar Cosmetic coming from the Beast of the Darkness. This is also kind of like a pet animal that appears, that represent Guts, revenge, wrath, in all these emotions. I don't want to go like again too much like into the deep if you guys are curious, but there is here a hypothesis, the same way as we had the Murloc, the coming into the game, maybe we actually gonna have the Beast of Darkness also coming. And with this, well, I hope you guys are excited. Please subscribe if you like Berserker, but if you don't, you can subscribe anyways, because you always help the channel. And with this, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the live stream. Very freaking excited for this. Peace.